with how far you're getting.
Yeah.
It's not visible for a long time, and if it's not visible for, it's for a long time, you can't tell how much you're getting. So you have to focus on how much you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's. I'm just speaking from my experience. That's what I did. I focused on what was I doing every day. How much more can I Japanize my life? It was like a game.
Yeah.
And that's what I played. And so eventually, oh snap, I know Japanese. Snap. Like I would suddenly, someone would give me like, a book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can read this whole thing. Like, okay.
So is it more important to produce instead of
No. The input hypothesis would say, and I tend to agree, is you just understand everything that's coming in. Eventually, you'll learn to output naturally.
So you don't have to try to produce it automatically, like in school or whatever.
No, not at all. Because what's the point? It's just like I love using this example, but like let's say you learn to ask directions, right?
Yeah.
Good. Can you understand the answer? Can you go to Osaka and understand the answer? Like, can you? Because if you can't, it's a waste of time, right?
Yeah.
It's really important to focus on the input, to focus on understanding the messages that are around you, and from that and also from that base of input, you will learn how to make correct. You'll learn. You don't have to learn grammar specifically. You can learn it as you go.
Yeah. You don't have to do it from a stupid book or anything.
You'll learn how to. Because all you'll be doing is imitating. That's what you do in language. You imitate. That's why I find it. That's why I sometimes find it crazy about people talking about how hard this is. It's like it doesn't. I'm not asking you to like cure cancer or something. It's like a process you just do. It's copying. Think of it as copyright infringement. You don't have to make up anything. You just copy what native speakers say.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
So you just language is copying, right?
It's copying, and you do, and then eventually, of course, you start to remix a bit on your own. But even your remixes, they're really just like you can write programs this way too. You just like take this piece of code and this piece of code, put it together. Okay, I want to do this. Let's look for a piece of code that looks like it.
Yeah.
And that's what natural language is. That's what human languages are like too. That's all there is to it. It's not really.
So what about like this one dude, one of my viewers, I don't even remember where the fuck he's from. He's from like Utah cats.
Yeah.
He was from Utah or Florida or something, and he's like, well, Sam, there's no Japanese people where I live, so I can't even practice normal just talking and listening to people.
Pick me.
Okay, you go.
Like I said, I had Japanese friends in school, but they got tired of me because I was at times,
Yeah.
I had I made an effort to make a lot of Japanese friends, but they had they had stuff to do.
Yeah.
And also they were in a church that I wasn't in, so it's like sometimes they had like church stuff to do. They're busy, you get busy sometimes, and so I couldn't always be with them. But that's no excuse, because like I said, if you can get a recording of a person, so a TV show speaking, right?
Yeah.
And this recording has been speaking, and you're only trying to do input anyway. You're just trying to understand what they say anyway.
Yeah.
Then you don't need a real person. It's nice to have. So a real person is nice to have because it's motivating. Because ultimately we're learning language to communicate, right?
Yeah.
But the only value of real people actually is communication. Because when you outputting does not make you good at a language as such. Except I'd say maybe for like practicing pronunciation to get mouth muscles working the right way. Other than that, output doesn't teach. Output's where you show off.
Yeah.
Input's where you teach. It's like saying you don't like let's say the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Hussein was the 100 meters world record holder, right? He didn't get good at that race. At the race where he set the world record, right?
Yeah.
That's not where he got good. He got good when he was practicing.
Yeah.
He was, that's where he got good. And it's the same way with language, you get good when you input, That's when you're getting good. When your output is just demonstrating that now, really.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
So you don't need a normal person to speak because you need to learn
like I said,
to
I don't
understand.
have one for Cantonese, But, not much. Although I have...
You have Cantonese friends on like Skype. You have Skype.
Yeah, I have friends on Skype. But, sometimes I want to meet people face to face. But even then, like I think of what I do is I think of what I would say to people. Your mind's like that. You can do that. I think of what I would say to people, and I look up how to say that.
Yeah.
Find out how to say it. And of course, I watch shows like Dragon Ball Z in Cantonese and stuff.
So like back to the kanji. How should they learn kanji?
There's a book called Remembering the Kanji by James Heisig.
Remembering the kanji, yeah?
That's all you need, yeah.
And you have a link for a special
up on the site.
version on your site, yeah?
Well, it's like...
So they can download it.
It's slightly different from the book, but it's basically the same idea.
Just doesn't have pictures of like, stroke order or whatever.
Stroke order, you should get the book. The book has stroke order as well. And stroke order is valuable, so I recommend getting it. Yeah.
So we covered speaking, writing,
input. I don't feel like I've really explained myself. I don't know how to get it across. But if you want more, like the guy who came up with the input hypothesis, a linguist called Stephen Krashen.
Yeah.
That's him. There's a website called Anti-Moon about these guys that learn Polish. There's that. I recommend you read that. My friends make fun of me for being like an academic and being like forcing people to read the literature, but what's the point in me duplicating what they said? I go and read that. I've put up the things that I read that led me to formulating like this process,
Yeah.
But putting together this process from those pieces and these ideas. So
what about like I'm getting bored here.
What?
So one of the things that I had with shit is that I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted to watch it one time and know everything.
Yeah.
So, but if you like it, you're gonna watch it a bunch of times, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The first time doesn't need to be perfect, right, Cats?
No. Well, yeah. The whole process is one of sucking. You're sucking the whole time. You're just merely sucking less each day. If you to phrase it negatively, you're getting better each day to phrase it positively.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just
because everybody sucks at a language first.
Just try to suck less each time as time goes on. If you that's the thing. Here's time, right? Time on the x-axis. Suckage on the y-axis. You want to be doing this, right?
Yeah.
The way you do this is by injecting it with listening, with reading. This is how you reduce your suckage. And so basically, the time you spend inputting is directly proportional to how the speed at which you're going to and quantity at which you're going to reduce your sucking.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, this is just what children do. If you look at the incredible amount of time even a 4-year-old has actually heard their language before they get to the stage of speaking.
Yeah.
It's really pretty mind-boggling. And so in terms of time, but so if you as an adult actually have an advantage because your mouth is used to making at least some sounds.
Yeah.
And you have a knowledge of concepts which children don't, right? So you can use that to your advantage. You can actually learn it quickly if you're willing to put in the time, though. And I'm not saying, and this isn't sucky time. Like I said, this is me like studying. This is like stuff. This is real. This is stuff in context. When someone gets hurt and they go, yeah, I was like, that's what you say when you get hurt.
Yeah.
There's so much you can get from context. And
well, it's like let's talk about videos, Cats.
Yeah.
Videos, video games, manga, MP3 players.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, think about it. Like, I read one of my favorite English books is called Gaijin.
Yeah.
It's about Japan during like I can't remember. It's been a while since I read it, but it's during like right after Perry came.
Yeah.
And it's talking about how people learn Japanese from books, but they even say in the book that they learned by being in a Japanese environment, Yeah. So like, but why do you think it is that old people, and stuff, they're like, books are like, books are the only answer. Movies and TV and MP3 megawatts and whatever can't be used. Why do you think what's up with that?
Do people say that?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
I
don't know. But the point is, it doesn't work. We're just interested here in what works, and I feel really bad because I really don't know how to put it into words how this works. It's like, it's on the one hand it's like magic, and on the other hand it's so predictable. If you merely put in that time, it's gonna happen. If you hang out with friends who speak a certain way, you'll eventually end up speaking like them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just. And if you make these friends Japanese, you'll eventually end up speaking Japanese. And these friends don't even have to be real life friends. TV counts as a friend. That sounds really sad, but
your TV's a friend, fag.
But yeah, I don't.